Today, I am going to teach you how to channel and connect to spirit through the art of journaling. Here we go.
My happiness is right where I left it. I can't remember when the simplest was all I wanted.
Hello everyone and welcome to Freedom Friday, where you learn how to free yourself and live your dreams. I'm Darienne from DariAwaken.com, and today I'm actually answering another one of your questions, Freedom Friday Q&A. This was a question that I got in my Rockin' Empath Facebook group, which is awesome and growing. We've got, as of right now, when I am recording this, we've got about 100 members. And I don't really talk too much about it. I don't really promote it too much. So everyone is perfectly coming in and trickling in. And it's a great way to get support as an empath. And one of the empath questions, I talked about one of the things I don't even remember what her question was, but I mentioned to her that she should try some journaling. That one of the things that I do is I have a very specific way of journaling that helps me to connect with myself, to connect with spirit, and I actually sometimes channel spirit when I do journaling. And then another one of our Rockin' Empaths asked me to elaborate, and so I said I should shoot a video because I remember, I think like the very first or second Freedom Friday that I ever did, I think that I briefly mentioned inspired writing, which is what I call my journaling. And I think I said that I was going to make a video about it, and 2 years later I never did. So at least I don't think I did. But so I'm going to talk about what I like to do, my way of journaling, my own very personal way of journaling. And there's a lot of people that journal this way as well, but I kind of just decided this on my own, and then I realized that there are quite a few most of the spiritual gurus out there that do this journaling as well. And I am a writer. You guys know I'm a writer, I'm a songwriter, and I believe that creative people like us, we're really good and really innate at channeling spirit through us, and we're just kind of translating spirit really well. And so I think I'm pretty good at this, so I want to share it with you guys. So I have the very first step that we want to take in doing this awesome journaling is getting yourself a journal that you really love, okay? I just bought this journal. I haven't even written in it yet. I have tons and tons of journals. I should have brought them all. I have them all hanging up in my closet right now. I am a journaler. I am an avid journaler. One day I'm probably going to write a book that's going to use all of my journaling. But so I got this one. It says, "Be happy always." And it's like really pretty. And the colors on it make me happy. I like pink. Because you want to feel good when you pick up your journal. You want to feel, when I see something like this, I feel inspired to write in it, you know? And that's like if you really want to get into the practice of journaling. I got this book at Marshall's for $6. Marshall's has a lot of really cute, any of those little like Marshall's, Home Goods, you know, TJ Maxx, Ross, if you have any of those in your area, any of those like discount department store kind of, they have the designer stuff that's super cheap. I call it like the fell off the wagon kind of stuff. They have a lot of really pretty journals right now. At least Marshall's did when I went there. And this was only $6. So where normally this would probably be like 10 to 20 bucks for something like that. So I saved on it. And it's really cute, and I just want to write in it now. Okay, so if you take a look at my earlier journals from like, you know, 7th grade, they all kind of were the same. I really was just accounting for things that were happening. So I'd be like, oh my God, you know, so-and-so told me that Johnny liked me, and now me and Johnny are like boyfriend and girlfriend. And then he kissed me, and then he told me that then he told me that he liked my best friend, and I was super mad, and I'm never gonna talk to him again. And so and I'm not even kidding you, like I have my 7th grade journals, and that's pretty on point for how my journals used to go. I was really just recording events. And a lot of times when I was journaling, I would journal as if, excuse me, I would journal as if I was talking to someone that didn't know me or know my situation or anything like that. But when around the same time that I had my spiritual awakening, I was 24, around that same time, I don't know exactly when, I don't know why I started doing this, I think it was just for therapeutic reasons. I started using my journal as a way to just dump my emotions. And I would just assume that the journal already knew me. The journal became an extension of my thoughts. So I didn't have to explain, Johnny is my boyfriend, you know, I would just dump my emotions on the page. And so if I was really upset at Johnny, at said boyfriend, I would just say whatever was on my mind. So like, I fucking hate him right now. I cannot believe he just did this to me. I feel so angry. I'm so hurt. Whatever. And I would just dump my feelings out. And it wasn't about me trying to record events or, you know, make sure that all the details are there. It was only about getting out my emotions. It was an extension of my thoughts. It was being able to have my thoughts come through me and out of my mind and onto the paper. It was just a therapeutic way for me to do it. And the way I started, of course, when you're used to journaling, you know, in just journaling events like that, it's a little bit more difficult to get into the gist of journaling your feelings. And I think that there's a lot of pressure. I think that people don't start journaling because they don't know what to write. I think that maybe some of that old stuff from school might come about, like, oh, there's all this pressure to write something, you know. I want you to know that this journal is absolutely sacred, that this is only for you, that it's only for your own, you know, it's only for your own eyes. It's not about anybody else. This is totally just an extension of your own mind. It's not meant to be read by anybody. It's not meant to be understood by anybody. It's certainly not meant to and will not be judged by anybody. And I think that pressure that we all kind of have, not all of us, but the pressure that a lot of us have to like write something that means something, or, you know, that wasn't there for me when I first started shifting the way I was journaling. The best way to get over that is to just start writing exactly what your thoughts are. So if you're like, this is how I would start. I would open my page. I don't know what the hell to write in this. I don't know how I'm feeling. You know, I don't know. So I would write the date, and I would write, I don't know what the hell to write in this. I don't know what I'm feeling. What the fuck am I supposed to say? This is a stupid piece of paper. Stupid piece of paper. I don't really like you right now, stupid piece of paper. You're putting a lot of pressure on me to have to write something important. I feel like I should write something important, but I don't have anything important to say, and that feels really crappy. I don't like feeling crappy, and I would just go. Do you see how I just got on this? I kind of started gaining momentum, right? And then what happens is there's no resistance and you start to get this natural flow. And then you just automatically start talking about your day, or you start talking about, you know, other things that piss you off. and you're just getting into a flow, right? Now, eventually I started to include God in my conversation, or spirit in my conversation, or the angels, or whatever you want to believe, the universe, the universal energy that loves and supports you, your creator, whatever you want to, your higher self, whoever you want to talk to. It's really just about connecting to that deeper part of yourself, the thing that is connected to all things, spirit, as I call it. So I started talking to spirit, and I would say, oh my, you know, now I'm journaling about how I'm feeling about things, or maybe I'm talking about things that are a little bit deeper, like, you know, I'm in so much pain because of this relationship, and I love him so much, and God, I just ask for your guidance. I just ask for you to come in and guide me. And I would always ask. And I would get into, now that I'm in this flow of like, you know, all the judgments are gone. I started off as just blah, blah, blahing through the journaling. Now all the pressure's gone. Now the feelings are naturally coming through. And now I'm naturally asking, right? Asking it is given. So eventually what started to happen is this voice started to come through. And it was a very peaceful, certain, loving voice. An all-knowing sort of voice that would come through, and it sounded like the voice of a loving mother or father. And a lot of times the voice sort of, at least the voice that comes to me, sort of speaks in, you know, have patience, my child. Something that's just simple, and it comes in a little whisper. But I'll be journaling, and I'm listening to my own thoughts, merely writing them down, you know, and I'm trying to write as fast as I think. That's really all I'm doing. And because I'm in that constant flow, it really is a meditation. And I get into this flow, and then all of a sudden this other voice comes in and says, you know, if I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do about this? Have patience, my child. Usually it will come in before I even have a chance to write the question down or ask the question. And I'll feel the energy of, sometimes if it's a question I know the answer to, I'll feel the energy of, come on now, you know this. You know, but it's very quiet. It's not like I have this crazy being in my head that's like, you know, God comes and speaks to you. It's nothing like that. It's just, you know, I'll be listening to my own voice, writing down exactly what the voice in my own head, the voice of my own thoughts is. You know, if I'm like, God, I hate this, I'm just writing, God, I hate this. You know, could you really just help me with this? Angels, could you come through? Could you give me some guidance? I really need some guidance. What am I supposed to do about this? Boom. I'll get something from over here. That's at least the best way I can describe it. Something from over here will come through and say, you know, it'll be something simple. It'll be like one word answer, love. Oh. And then I'll have this knowing, oh, so I'm supposed to love him. I'm supposed to love him through this? How am I supposed to love? And then I'll ask more questions. But how? And it becomes this dialect. And usually what I'll do is I'll take, I don't have my other journal with me to show you, but I'll be writing the question. And then when that voice comes through, I will put it in brackets so that it becomes a conversation. You know, if it's just one word, love. If it's have patience, my child. If it's, you know, whatever. And then I'll ask another question, but how am I supposed to love him when I feel so yada, 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 or, you know, I feel this way. And then the answer will come through before I even ask the question. And the reason it's before I even ask the question is because the thought that I'm having is really the words that I'm thinking in my mind. They're really a result of the vibrational energy that I'm giving out, which is that question. So there's really just a translation of the vibrational energy I'm giving out. I've already given out that vibrational energy. That's why the answer comes through before I even ask the question completely. So sometimes I get those one words. There are other times, though, when I have been completely just taken over. And this is anytime you see something called inspired writing on DariAwaken.com. This is Spirit has completely taken me over. A lot of the times when I write my songs, I don't know what the hell I'm writing. I don't even know how, honestly, I swear to God, I don't even know how I'm rhyming so well. I don't think about it. I don't write like that. I have practiced this getting into the flow of and connecting so well with Spirit that I don't have to think about rhyming. I don't have to think about the timing, the calculations of songs, because there is mathematical calculations of how you're supposed to write. So there's bars and things like that, and most songs have a similar amount of bars, and it depends on the type of song you're writing and the arrangement of songs. It's very mathematical. Music writing is very mathematical, and yet I don't have one thought about the mathematics of writing a song because I'm completely, for the most part, taken over by Spirit. I've given myself over. I've gotten into that flow where there is absolutely no resistance, and Spirit's able to just use me. And it's like Spirit just dances through me. And so yesterday I started writing a song. Literally, this is what I do. I don't think about the chords. I don't think about playing it in my key. I don't even know what my own key is. I don't even know, honestly, I don't even know the chords that I'm playing half the time. I will clip. This is what I did yesterday. And you know what? I started writing a song that I believe is probably the best song I've ever written in my life. But all I do is, and I literally had the thought, I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't know what to write about. I don't know what to sing. All right, well, I just feel like singing, so I'm just going to do it, you know? So I just clipped my capo, I think on the 4th fret, and I played a C. Do-do-do. And then I just played the next chord. I didn't know what I was playing. And then I started singing. And then I started like, yeah, this is good. And I'm just flowing. And then all of a sudden, I have a chorus written. I just sing a chorus, the whole chorus. It's done. And it rhymes. And it's perfectly mathematical. And it makes sense to the logic mind. But I didn't do any of that, you know? And that really comes from, of course, I've been writing for a lot longer than just doing this journaling exercise, but this is a way for me to really get answers, you know, like when we go and we try to get, we go to a psychic and we try to get direct answers from Spirit or we get our cards read or whatever the case may be, you know, this for me, or we meditate or whatever, this for me, it's like a direct channel to Spirit. And you know, one of the things that I mentioned when I was answering this question in my Facebook group, my Rock and Empath Facebook group, was it's really important, you know, you don't have to use journaling to do this. I think that the best way, I believe through my own experience and through the experience that I've witnessed in others, and I know a lot of spiritual people, I mean a lot, so what I have seen of them and what I've seen in my own experience is that the more joyful and relaxed and that you are, the more engaged in an activity that you genuinely love, the more you are engaged in that activity, the more you're in the flow of love and joy and just doing what you like doing, the easier it is for Spirit to come through. That is the place that you want to find to connect to Spirit. So it may not be journaling for you, But if you find that if you start to do this, and it may not happen right away. It took a little while for me to start getting answers from Spirit and being able to connect. And I don't always connect with Spirit, and I don't, you can't push it. It's the resistance. When you have resistance, Spirit can't come through. So it's just wanting to always be in the flow of who you are, and that's what it's about. And I can't stress this enough. I think one of my last videos, I talked about tuning into the truth of who you are. When you allow yourself to just naturally have the thoughts that you're having, write them down, connecting your body to your mind, right? Spirit can come through so much easier because you're just hooked into it. And it's being who you are and feeling what you feel without judgment. You don't have to be all loving and like, I am a beautiful spirit and I love all the people and all the beings in the planet. And you don't have to be like that to connect to Spirit. You can be like, you know what? I'm having a fucking shitty day. Today is having a shitty day. I don't like the people around me. I don't really want to do this, because there's no resistance in that. If the truth of how you're feeling currently is that you're having a shitty day, or that you feel pressure to write in this stupid ass journal, if that's what you're feeling, then get in line with that. Because when you allow that to be and you just let it go, there's no resistance in it. And that's the key to it. And that's why we want you, as all these spiritual gurus and these life coaches, that's why we want you to accept yourself, to give yourself a break, to be who you are, to allow your feelings to culminate, to flow just as they are. You don't have to be, and that is how, through doing that, you naturally get to that point where you're like, I love all beings. Because that really is the truth of the spirit of who you are, right? The greater part of who you are. That is the truth. But sometimes right now, you're just having a shitty thought. All right, have your shitty thought. You're allowed to have your shitty thought. Don't resist the shitty thought. Have the shitty thought. Then let the shitty thought go. And when you continue to have, and then maybe you have another shitty thought, or maybe you go, ooh, it feels good to be able to release that shitty thought. What else feels good? Oh, this feels good. I'd like to take a walk right now. And you just kind of flow, just get into the flow of your own mind and who you are. And when you connect your body and your mind through writing, or for me, it's, playing my guitar and singing, that is my physical body translating my mental thoughts, which is translating the vibrations of the spirit of who I am. That is what it means to be fully aligned. Okay? And when we practice that enough, eventually that channeling spirit will come through. I also wanted to mention, just quickly before I go, that it's not like I have like, one or two spirit guides that are coming through. No, I mean, I've channeled the energy that I believe to probably be Jesus. It seemed like the energy of Jesus for me. I've channeled a lot of different things, and sometimes I'm writing and I'm getting answers from different spiritual beings or entities, or just because the energy feels different. That's how I know that it's coming from, even the tone of the voice is a little bit different. Some of them will joke around with you. Some of them are kind of funny, and some of them are very, have patience, my child. That's when I feel like Jesus has come through, because that's kind of the language of Jesus for me. It's very, that kind of loving and fatherly, like, yes, my child, kind of conversation. So this may sound a little wacky to some of y'all. I just realized that I'm channeling spirit, but we're all channeling spirit all the time, but some of us know it and some of us don't. When you dance, when you feel inspired, when you sing, when you do what you love, and it's easy and you're in the flow, you're channeling spirit. And whether you're channeling just your own spirit and the greater part of yourself, or you're channeling other beings that are here to just love the shit out of you and just are here to help you be more in line with yourself and live a more joyful life. So There it is. So practice your journaling. Let me know how you journal, if you journal a little bit differently than this, or if there are some other activities that you've found where you feel really, really connected to spirit. I want to know all about it. As always, continue bringing in your questions for Freedom Friday, Q&As, and I can continue to answer them for you. Also subscribe so that you get all of these videos every single week. And what else? Find me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Darienne Empire. And make sure, by the way, Darienne Empire is spelled D-A-R-I-E-N-N-E, if you don't know. I should put a link in the description. I think there's links in the description. I don't know what I do anymore. But yeah, come find me and chat with me. And, you know, I like to talk to you guys, and make sure that you have been seeing, if you haven't already, the Mission Love interviews that I am releasing every single week for our mission to change the face of social media and make it a positive place to be for everyone that chooses it to be so. That's it. All right. I love you guys so much. Bye. Mwah.
So now